hell of a party you got here going on, brother. Hey, pass me that whiskey over there, by God. I tell you what, I'm about to get drunk than a skunk. Man, they cut the music off, and I hear a whole lot of ruckus and commotion going on downstairs. Is it the cops? I hope it ain't the cops, man. Please tell me it ain't the cops. Okay, got everything put away. Let me walk downstairs and see exactly what's going on. Hey, what happened to the... Ho, brother. What you doing with your hands on my sister? Get your hands off my sister. I don't want to hear any apologies. I seen what I seen. And you had my sister pinned up against the wall. So fatten me, by God. Fatten me. No, I'm not gonna calm down. I tell you what, I'm about as mad as a dog in Hupkecker, you son bitch. You ain't got a hair in your ass if you don't come out and fat me like a man, whore. Come on, whore. Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV, in the house like motherfucking kitchen sinks. You know, oftentimes, women look to men as the providers and as the protectors. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because honestly, I don't feel as though there's anything wrong with that. But there's also a time to where you must use your mind and understand that just because your sister, just because, your ex, just because, your lady, your cousin, your friend, whatever the case may be, just because they come and get you and tell you about a situation that's occurring that you don't necessarily like, yeah, you can handle that situation, but that don't necessarily mean that you have to handle it with violence. Plenty of people in the penitentiary walking that loop that I often speak about with 50 and 60 years and would give anything to be able to take that back and handle things differently, in a different manner. Not be so impulsive just because their sister or cousin came and got them to handle a situation. Now, with all that being said, I am Mr. 30 Minutes or Better. The self-proclaimed Mr. 30 Minutes or Better. Meaning that every video that I come out with is guaranteed to be 30 minutes or longer. So if you're on your way to work, if you're at work, just don't feel like being there, boss getting on your motherfucking nerves, co-workers stinking and shit. Or you're on your way home from work. Perhaps you're trying to take a nap. Maybe you're trying to sleep at night and, you just need a good old-fashioned penitentiary story to listen to. And know that we keep it real and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Is the channel for you. Now, with all that being said, there is a message. I'd like to apologize for the late upload. I've been having trouble with YouTube all day long. Trust and believe, I've been trying to get this video out literally all day, and I was scheduled to go live at 8:15 and then 8:30, and I was just unable to correct the problem, if you will. So again, I apologize, and I don't go live often, but I will be going live probably this weekend. Individual named Aaron. Aaron was a country boy, white dude, long hair. He was a cool dude, man. He probably weighing in about 170. Aaron wasn't really that tall. Wasn't short either. I don't know. He was probably, let me think. It's been a long time since I've seen Aaron. I want to say Aaron was probably about 5'11", give or take. And so Aaron, like I said, he's from a small country town, so he kind of talks with that country twang, if you will. He's at a party one night. It's a house party. It's Aaron, his sister's there, and he has a brother. His brother's cool, man. He's cool as a fan, man. Alex and Aaron. Now, Aaron is the older brother, but they're like 11 months apart. It's crazy, 11 months apart. So I guess, their mother wasted absolutely no time. No disrespect whatsoever. Because I wish I had a brother that was 9-10 months. Well, maybe not 9 months. 10-11 months apart from myself. And so, man, these brothers, they were so cool. They never really argued. They really looked alike, to be honest. So the way that I just described Aaron is pretty much what Alex looked like. They were even the same height. So the sisters, she was there, what have you. Everybody's having a good time. Good old house party. Things that they don't do these days. At least I haven't seen anything like that as of late. Now, the sister's there. She's there with her boyfriend. And, there's a whole lot of drinking going on. And I'm quite sure that there were other activities that were taking place at this party. You know how it is. It's a party. So Aaron is upstairs. There's like an upstairs and there's a downstairs. As I mentioned, it's a house. But there's a party going on upstairs and there's a party going on downstairs just as well. Music stops. Aaron hears some commotion going on. Everybody hears the commotion going on. He feels as though, oh man, what's going on? Damn, man, they done ruined my high, man. Because he liked to smoke weed. Hopefully it ain't the cops, man. So he's looking, it's the cops. It's the cops. Knew I shouldn't have came to this house party. Nah, it ain't the cops, man. Your sister's down there going crazy, man. You might want to, get downstairs. He goes downstairs. He sees his sister just wilding all the way out. Now she's arguing with her boyfriend. The boyfriend is clearly like, listen, just stop. Just somebody get her, man. You just need to calm down. You've had a little bit too much to drink. You need to calm down. She was going off because apparently she felt as though her boyfriend was being a little bit too friendly with the female friend. And so she didn't like that whatsoever. And mixed with the fact that she had been drinking, spelled disaster. So she's going crazy. She's hitting the boyfriend. She's trying to, grab his hair. Aaron had the long hair or whatever. So she's grabbing his hair. He's just telling her to chill out. So finally he just grabs her. He don't slam her. He doesn't, he grabs her and kind of restrains her up against the wall. Like, stop. Keep your hands off of me. Aaron didn't like that. Now, as Aaron is coming down the stairs, he's seeing this. What you doing putting your hands on my sister? Listen, man, it wasn't even nothing like that, man. We got it. We gonna handle this, man. We good. No, what are you doing putting your hands on my sister? Listen, Aaron, I don't got no problem with you, buddy. Me and you always been cool, man. But your sister, she's just a little inebriated at the time. And, I'm just trying to stop her. You didn't see what happened. So, people, they're basically telling Aaron what happened. Like, Aaron, it wasn't even anything like that, man. Your sister was out of, she was out of line. She's out of control. He was just trying to, restrain her. Man, y'all can't tell me what I just seen. My eyes don't lie to me. You slammed my sister up against the wall. So slam me up against the wall like that, punk. Again, Aaron, I don't have no problem with you whatsoever. I know you, I know your family, I know your brother, I don't have any problems with you. Now, Alex is there, but Alex is more so of the laid back one. He's calm, cool, collected. He's not, come on, bro. That's how Alex talks. Come on, bro. Just let it go, man. It ain't no big deal, man. Just let it go. No, man, I'm not letting nothing go. He didn't have to slam my sister up against the wall like that. And you should be on my side just as well. Alex can't even calm his own brother down. Aaron proceeds to tell the boyfriend, no, get on outside. Get on outside. Now the sister, she's, as I mentioned, she's drunk. Yeah, get outside. Get outside. Do my brother like you did me. She country too. Do my brother like you did me. He's consistently saying, I have no problems, man. I have no problems. Matter of fact, I'm going to just leave. I'm going to just remove myself from the situation. I apologize once again. No, by God. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. Again, I don't want no problems, man. You ain't got a hair on your ass if you don't, whore. Now, we all know that when white boys, no disrespect, but when a white boy says whore, oh, man, it's time to get in. Because it ain't no talking. It ain't none of that. When a white boy says, whore, or fuck you, motherfucker, it's on, man. It's on. It's time to get down. There is nothing else to discuss. And white boys ain't going to do too much talking anyway. Boyfriend obviously didn't want to go outside. So Aaron says, okay, we're going to take it right here. Clocks him. Clocks the dude. Well, the dude wasn't no punk or anything like that. Now, let me give you all his specs, if you will. Pause. Double pause. Triple pause. I shouldn't even have said give you all his specs. What I should have said, which would have been more appropriate, is let me tell you all how... I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to say how big he was, but you all get what I'm trying to say. They was about the same height. He weighed a little bit more. He was probably about 210. He worked out a little bit. 210, 215. Short hair, goatee. White dude just as well. Dark black hair, short cut. Cool dude, man. At this particular time, everybody was probably in their 20s. Now, the boyfriend, he could have been 30 at the time, but I know Aaron and Alex, they were probably 26 and 25. Don't know exactly how the sister was, but they were all close in age, so she was in her 20s just as well. He socks him. He socks the boyfriend. So they fight. Now, as they're fighting, they banging, they going back and forth. I'm talking about they're going back and forth. Alex is right there. Obviously, he's not going to let his brother get beat up. But Alex is, as I mentioned, he's cool, calm, and collected. He wasn't trying to instigate anything. He was more so trying to be the peacemaker. They fighting out. The whole crowd is into it. Everybody's watching. It's a brawl, man. They fighting. Next thing you know, Aaron is able to grab the boyfriend and he picks him up. He picks him up. He power slams him in the ground. Boom! Hits his back. He hits his back. This is a wooden floor now. It's not carpet or anything like that. This is like a hardwood floor. Them old-fashioned floors. Not none of this stuff they just throw down in 15, 20 minutes now. Nah, this is that old-fashioned wood because it was an older house. Hits his back. Boom! Hits his back. His head hits the ground. Aaron's on top of him. He's hitting him a couple times. And he's talking shit. Motherfucker! He's talking shit because he's on top of him now. So now he's really, The problem is, the boyfriend's not moving. After a few punches, the crowd quickly realized, and I say the crowd, all the people that was, standing around watching and cheering things on, this guy was not moving at all. Had blood coming out of his nose. They're trying to shake him, get him up, wake him up. Wake up, wake up. They thought that maybe when he got slammed by his head hitting the wall that, probably just knocked him out or something like that. Trying to wake him up. They go to the kitchen and grab something as though it's smelling sauce. Or, I think it was some hot sauce or something. I don't know exactly. He wouldn't wake up. The sister now, all of a sudden, she's carrying. She's going, baby, wake up, please, wake up. Shaking him. No movement. No signs of movement. You start to see people just start scattering. People's gone. Because they know what type of, they know what this is ultimately going to lead to. This individual's hurt badly. The police is going to show up. They got drinks everywhere, which is cool. You're okay to have drinks in the house. But you got people that's driving that's been drinking. You got weed. You got the cocaine. Nobody wanted to be around when the police showed up. They start to scatter. 911 is called. They come out. They take the individual to the hospital. Because along with 911, obviously the ambulance came and the fire truck and, the whole rescue squad, if you will. They get to questioning Aaron as far as what happened. He tells the police, it's just a simple fight. A couple people, they kind of backed this story. They didn't really tell him what really, really happened. They back his story. Aaron leaves. Boyfriend's taken to the hospital. When he goes to the hospital, he's in a coma. Like, he ends up going into a coma because he I don't know all the intricacies of, medical wise what happened, but I know that he ended up being in a coma. He was in a coma for, I don't know, a few weeks or what have you, and there was just nothing that could be done. And they pulled the plug. His mother decided to pull the plug. Aaron's spooked. Aaron is spooked because the detectives have told him rather, do not leave town. Just like you see on TV, do not leave town. We do plan to talk to you once again. We're going to get all the details of the story. And we plan to come back and talk to you. Aaron knew what that ultimately meant. He knew what time of day it is. I'm sorry. I got tongue-tied. Aaron's gone. He goes on the run. No. Ain't no way I'm going down there to talk to you all again, and then you tell me stand up, put my hands behind my back. Absolutely not. Aaron's gone. He's on the run for 4 or 5 months. He knows that the people's looking for him. He stays away from home. He goes to a different county. Well, when you're on the run, one of the worst parts about being on the run is, besides the fact of always having to watch your back, you can't even work. Social Security number ties you in, obviously, to your job, unless you're working and you're working for cash and it's under the table. But if people know where you work at, you still really can't work. So Aaron got to make a living. He's in the game. He's doing whatever he can do to survive. Making a little money here and there. He's slanging. As I mentioned, 4 or 5 months passes, and they end up kicking in the door of the hotel room. They knew where he was at, and somebody dropped a dime on him. Take him to the police station. This is your opportunity. So you know how the police are. It's your opportunity to tell us. We know. Favorite thing that detectives say, we know. We know this. We know. Okay, well, if you know, why are you asking me? If you know all of this, why are you asking me? It's not my job to do your job. It's your job to do your job. I don't have nothing to say. Give me an attorney. That's the best thing you can say. You ever find yourself getting interrogated? Police is not your friend. Definitely not your friends. I don't care how much trouble they tell you in. I don't care how much they say, it's your last opportunity. Once you walk out of that door, we can't help you anymore. Yeah, you can tell me the sky is purple too. Does that mean it's purple? Attorney. So he's talking to the detectives, and I guess he felt as though he could talk his way out of that room. He wasn't going to talk his way out of that room. You see, people had came to the detectives and basically told them that this guy didn't even want to fight. The boyfriend didn't even have a problem. He was very apologetic when he didn't even have to be apologetic. He was the victim. He was the victim with the sister. And with the brother Aaron, he ended up being the victim once again. Aaron struck him first. Once he struck him, they got the fight. So although, when Aaron slammed him and he hit his head, no, it wasn't intentional. There was nothing intentional about that whatsoever. Problem is, we're in a Commonwealth state. And for you all that know about Commonwealth states, either you live in a Commonwealth state, or you used to live in a Commonwealth state, or you're intentionally avoiding living in a Commonwealth state, they don't take anything lightly. Looks like murder. Aaron gets charged with murder. He's sick. He's in the county jail. Then when they kicked the hotel door in, they found some drugs on him. But that was the least of his worries. That was the least of his worries. You are in the detention center, well, actually the county jail, facing a murder charge. When you catch a very serious charge such as murder, you can prepare to lay down for the next 2, 3, 4 years in the county jail. I've seen people sit in the county jail for 5 years fighting a murder case. Innocent until proven guilty, right? Is that what they say? I think it's the other way around. Aaron sits in the county. They won't come up off the murder charge. The plea deal, they're offering him plea deals, but it's for murder, and it's like 20 years, 25 years. He has to do 85% of that time because it's violent. I'm not taking a murder charge. I understand that this was a violent situation, but it wasn't supposed to be like that. This was just supposed to be just a simple fight. I just wanted to fight. He threw my sister up against the wall, and I was taking up for my sister. That was his story. That's what he was going to rock with. Again, they would never come below 20 years at 85%. They feel as though their case was solid. Aaron feel as though y'all just going to have to give it to me, man. I'm going to trial. They end up going to trial, and the jury comes back. You know, they hear all the facts of the case or what have you. The jury comes back, but they don't come back with a conviction for murder. No, they give him the lesser included offense of manslaughter. I forget if it was man 1 or man 2. Manslaughter. Along with the conviction for the drugs that they found. The jury ends up giving them a total of 14 years. Now, the significance of that 14 years is that even though it was manslaughter is violent, it's not deemed as violent under the statute, which means just like everybody else that has non-violent charges, you do 20% of your time before seeing the parole board. So in a 14-year sentence, you would do 2 years and 10 months and then see the parole board. He already pretty much been in the county jail that time, that length of time. So by the time he gets final sentenced through the judge, because you come back probably about a month later. So once you get convicted at trial, you'll come back about a month to 6 weeks later, and you'll get final sentenced. The judge will actually give you the time that he or she decides to give you. Even though the jury recommended 14 years, the judge could have given him more, could have given him less. He sounded very, very remorseful, very, he was sorry, basically. Apologized to the family. People knew that it was just a fight or whatever. But at the same time, he was still the aggressor. He didn't even have to go there. The judge follows the recommendation of the jury, gives him 14 years, sends him off to prison. Sits in the county jail another couple months, then he goes to prison. By the time your paperwork catches up with you, meaning that by the time the Department of Corrections, they go in, look at all the time that you've done, they calculate your time, they see, okay, 14-year sentence, you got to do 2 years and 10 months. They say, okay, he's eligible for parole right now. Now, of course, the parole board didn't let him out. I think they ended up giving him at the time maybe 48 months. Come back and see us in 48 months. Because on a 14-year sentence, you can actually serve your time out. If you take enough classes that give you 90 days off per class, you can actually be home on a 14-year sentence, I want to say about 8 years, 7.5, 8 years, somewhere right around in there, 8.5, you can be home. The sister, she was furious. Stopped speaking to him. Wouldn't come visit him. Wouldn't return any of his letters. You took her boyfriend off his earth. And she was not happy about that whatsoever. But at the same time, you're not even taking accountability for what happened. Now, I hate to be judgmental because who am I to judge anybody? I'm a 3-time loser. I've been to the joint 3 times. And so I can't point the finger at anyone and I can't say, okay, you should have done this. But at the same time, you could have done this. You see, when the boyfriend was trying to leave the situation, even volunteered to leave the party, tried to leave the party, you was cheering him on. Get him, get that motherfucker. Never once did you step in and say, hold on, brother, I got it. I understand you were drunk. But guess what? That doesn't negate the fact simply because you were drunk. You agitated, instigated the entire thing. That man did nothing to you whatsoever. But because you cried a little bit and you screamed a little bit, now people feel sorry for you and it's like, oh man, my sister, you did this to her? And here it is, the boyfriend never did anything whatsoever. But at the end of the day, there's no reason for you to really be upset with your brother. I can understand being a little upset, don't get me wrong. But you played a role in this movie just as well. And to be perfectly honest, you lucky you didn't get charged. It's aiding and abetting. You contributed to this. But now you're mad at your brother. So here it is. Here it is that he did all of this time. Now he's out now. But at the same time, he did 8 years, 8.5 years, somewhere right around in there. You never came to see him. You never, no communication with him whatsoever. You never went and checked on his children. Made sure that they were good. Anytime he comes around as far as family functions or at the mother's house, you made sure that you weren't there. Or if he just popped up, you left. He tried to talk to you. You had no conversation for him. As I mentioned earlier, the penitentiary is full of individuals that will do anything to have that moment back. You see, there's something about when somebody comes to you, say your little sister, for instance. I'm going to give y'all a brief story. Real brief story. Individual did all this time in prison. And I've told this story actually on my channel. It was just prior to me really getting the amount of views that I get now. But I've told this story. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button if you like. Definitely comment. Subscribe to the Chiz channel if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you all do all of those things for me. She has a problem with her boyfriend. Apparently the boyfriend's got caught, cheating or something like that, talking to another girl. She went through his phone. Whatever the case may be, she had a problem. First thing she does, get out my house. Give me my key. Give me my car keys. Start taking all this stuff, throwing all this stuff out in the yard, embarrassing him. Of course, he lived with her. They were relatively young. Well, they were in their 20s. She's throwing all this stuff out. And he's, baby, it wasn't, fellas, when we get caught up, it wasn't even like that, baby. Let me explain. No. How you going to explain this? Huh? I just read these text messages. I seen where you and this other female, you and this other bitch been hooking up. How you explain that? Putting her finger all in his face and all in his head. So, he's trying to calm her down, but it's to no avail. She's not trying to hear that. Stuff is being thrown everywhere. He got Jordans everywhere. He got video games everywhere. He got just whatever, boxers. She assaulted him physically. From what I understand, I was not there, so I'm narrating. But from what I understand, he never laid hands on her. Not only did she just embarrass him, now he was wrong. Don't get me wrong, he was ultimately wrong. But not only did she just physically assault him and embarrass him in front of everybody, she goes and gets her brother. Her brother was a goon. And she knew her brother was a goon. Her brother had did 9-10 years in the penitentiary. He had like a 50-year sentence. Supposedly he was in there. It was a murder case. Everybody said he didn't do it. I don't know. But the word was he just didn't tell on the person that really did it. But he beat it in appeals. He gave all that time back and beat it in appeal. So he comes home. Before he went in, everybody knew that he was just gifted with his hands. Everybody knew. This is a dude you don't want to fight. And he wasn't even a big dude. This is no joke. Dude was probably about 5'10", 5'10 and a half. Seriously, I'm being dead serious. Weighed maybe 180 pounds. He was just real cut up, laid back dude. He was just had a gift with his hands. I don't want to say his name because, I didn't get permission from the family, and I don't want to say his name, and I ain't really know him like that. I ain't know him, period. I ran across him a couple times, but I didn't personally know him. I knew of him. Penitentiary legend. Now, when I say penitentiary legend, meaning, man, he was just known for knocking dudes out, straight out. Big dudes, little dudes, whoever. Cold, knocking you straight out, man. So when he comes home, he kind of comes home on his... Things had changed in those 10 years that he did. Dudes really wasn't fighting as much. They using them things. Them Glocks, them switches. They not really trying to throw hands like that. He gets wind of what happened with the sister. She tells him, she calls him over there. That right there was the biggest mistake that could have been made. because she calls him over there. And then once she calls him over there, the dude's gone or whatever. A few weeks later, she takes him back. His boxers is back in the house. His Jordans is back in the house. His video games is back in the house. You know all the things, fellas, that we have at the lady's house. He's there. They having like a little cookout. Well, the brother ain't forgot about, what his sister said. Nah, bro, we good now. Bro ain't trying to hear that. Bro goes up to the dude, slaps him 2 or 3 times, supposedly. Ever put your hands on my sister? Boom, 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 slaps him up. She's trying to tell him, nah, man, it's over with. See, you always tripping. Hold on, you the one told me he did this. Yeah, but I told you we good now. You don't even got to do that, man. Chill out, man. Chill out. Everybody's trying to tell him chill out. But at the same time, treading lightly with him. He's a knockout artist. Cold knock you out. Plus, he kept that thing on him. Man. Very highly respected in them streets, man. Dude wasn't trying to hear that. The boyfriend? Nah. I'm not going for that. That's unacceptable. You done put your hands out. I can't whoop you. I will fault the dude. I don't see how any man allows another man to put his hands on him and you just sit there. But, hey. It's unacceptable. This ain't happening. This is not happening. Some time later, maybe a few weeks later. Caught dude. Can't get really too detailed into the story. Actually, I can because, the story's already, it's already done and over with. You see what I'm saying? Like he's already been to court but let me not get too far ahead of myself. Caught dude out. Caught him slipping. He's with 4 or 5 of his homies. Her brother's by himself. He sees what's going on. He takes off running. They chase him. Gun him down. Wish they hadn't have. It's unfortunate. They take his life. She's obviously not too happy about the situation. Now, I don't know if she ended up feeling bad about that situation. But these 2 stories, you see where I'm going with these 2 stories. Not to say that all females are troublemakers, because you got people that'll go get their big brother. You got dudes that'll go get their big brothers or go get their uncles. But these particular stories just happen to involve 2 women. You ain't got your brother the second, actually both situations. And look what happens. Common denominator is the brother ended up paying the ultimate price. One with his life, the other one with doing 8.5, 9 years in the penitentiary. If you never had called your brother, then perhaps they will both still be here. Even though one is here. But the boyfriend may have been here if you had just chilled out and not caused a ruckus. So that's why I said in the very, very beginning, women feel as though men are protectors and we're supposed to be the providers. And I get that. But violence is not always the key. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. Does that sound familiar? All of that time that these guys are doing in the penitentiary right now, taking up for somebody else. I told one story last week about an individual that unalived his mother's husband, his stepdad, simply because the mother called him over there and the stepdad never even did nothing to the mother. Now he's serving 50 years. Mama might send him $20, $25 every 7-8 months. Don't come and see him. See, when you take up for someone and you put yourself in that situation, you insert yourself into their business, even though it's your loved one, it's your sister, it never turns out right. And 9 times out of 10, all she's going to do is run back and get back with him. So here you are in penitentiary doing 30, 40 years. You protecting your sister because she called you. You at home minding your business, playing your Xbox, listening to your Will Smith CD. Oh, no, I got the ride for my sister. That's my sister. Where your sister at when you doing them 30 years, man? She don't come and see you. Oh, bro, I ain't forgot about you, man. I just been busy with the kids and everything out here, man. I love you, man. I'm going to come and see you. I'm going to send you some money. Damn, sis, you been saying you was going to send me some money for 6 months. I know, but you got to understand, I got these kids out here, and I got things and everything's so high out here. I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it. I promise you, bro. I love you. Okay. You think that she's going to send it, you waiting. Week goes by, 2 weeks goes past. Damn, man, she just sent up there and promised me she was going to send me this money. She did. What, you send it on a turtle? A snail? Because I ain't got it yet, and I've been waiting 3 weeks. The point that I'm making is, if you have a problem or you have an issue with somebody, keep that to you all. To yourself. Even if the dude is putting his hands on you, don't go get your brothers. Because especially when you know your brothers is goons out there in them streets. If he's putting his hands on you, you leave him. You do the proper thing. Go downtown, file an EPO out on him, emergency protective order. File a 4th degree or whatever. In Kentucky, it's a 4th degree assault charge. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but when it comes to putting your hands on women, I don't play that, man. I don't play that. I never really try to get the police involved, but when you have a grown man putting his hands on you as a woman, man, you get his ass locked up, man. And you leave him alone. Don't go get your brothers. Don't go get your uncles, your dad, your stepdad, because you don't know what they're going to do. And ultimately, about you, their sister, or niece, or cousin, or friend, partner, whatever. No limit. No limit to what they could potentially do. Then you end up getting back with the dude, if he's still around. And the dude that came to your rescue is in penitentiary. 2 sad situations, but very much true. And I'm quite sure that everyone watching this video can relate. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. As I mentioned earlier, definitely like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this Banky Pound heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. And shout out to Banky Pound. When I go at Banky Pound heat, that's no disrespect to Banky Pound. Some people, oh man, why you sending shots at Banky Pound, man? That's nothing but respect. Because I know from what I've heard, he was in there handling his business, putting in work. Jay Williams told me all about Banky Pound, so I don't necessarily have to read all the comments and understand. Jay Williams told me about it. And shout out to the boy Jay Williams too. Be home real soon. Probably less than 100 days. Shout out to Jay Williams, man. Real Kens TV.